UFC 304 just occurred. I just watched that shit. Damn, pretty good card, I guess to say the least. I'm gonna be going over the fights that went on in the main card, and let's get started. Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. This was definitely a fight that a lot of the hardcore fans were looking forward to. It definitely determines how featherweight rankings are going to be. You had number 5 Arnold Allen versus I believe number 10 Giga Chikadze, and a lot of people were favoring Arnold Allen going into the fight. So it was definitely surprising to see Giga Chikadze using good range management, keeping Arnold Allen at a distance, hitting him with some good kicks and some good lead side attacks. That was pretty good, but Arnold Allen was just a fucking tank, dude. He kept on walking forward. He took the shots and then started delivering some of his own. I noticed he was doing a really good left cross from the southpaw stance. I also noticed that Arnold Allen was throwing a good left roundhouse kick to the body of Giga Chikadze. I think just Giga ended up getting tired. His body language didn't really do too good for him within the last 2 rounds, and that's what got Arnold Allen the decision. Next, we got Kristen Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Rodriguez. This wasn't really the most exciting fight on the card, to say the least, but it was pretty good. Gregory Rodriguez showed some good boxing. He was able to mix it up as well. He outstruck Kristen Leroy Duncan, and on top of that, outgrappled him as well. Held him down. He had some good control time, and yeah, got a good decision win. And he's asking for another win. He's asking for another fight in the top 15. I think it'll be a good chance for him to prove himself. Let's see what he does in the future. Next up, Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett. I really like this one. It was a pretty explosive fight. Ended very quickly, but it was fun while it lasted. You had Bobby Green, I think, acting a bit too big for his britches, standing there with his hands down. I don't think he was opening it up enough on the hands, which ultimately I believe led to his detriment, while Paddy was kicking on the outside, landing good kicks. He was doing a good job at blocking Bobby Green's low kicks as well. And don't fucking shoot on Paddy Pimblett, bro. I actually just rewatched a video of him submitting 10 Marines in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu match. So the guy clearly knows what he's fucking doing. Definitely not the highest fight IQ moment from Bobby Green shooting for Paddy Pimblett's legs. And that kind of is why Pimblett got the submission. I think Green should have opened up more with his hands, used his boxing more, but just made the wrong decision, man. It is what it is. Next up, we got Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes for the interim UFC heavyweight championship. This was a bit controversial because of the stoppage, I guess you could say. I think Blaydes was actually doing pretty good. I think he was doing a good job at landing straight shots down the pipe, landing that good 1-2 on Aspinall. I mean, like I said, man, before, his speed was definitely going to be a factor. The athleticism was definitely going to matter. Aspinall, with his hand speed, he was able to catch Blaydes and catch him off guard with the lead left hook. He tried to go for a right cross over the top, but I don't really think it landed too well. I think it's the lead left hook that really knocked Blaydes down. And then after that, man, Aspinall has a really good finishing ability. He saw that Blaydes was in a vulnerable position, and he just went for it, swarming him with punches. I think it was a bit early, but at the same time, it would have been really hard for Blaydes to escape from that position because Aspinall was just pouring it on, and Blaydes, yeah, he wasn't responding, bro. He wasn't responding, so that kind of could explain why the ref made that call. But good on Aspinall, bro. He took advantage of a situation when it presented itself. Lastly, we got the main event, Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad for the UFC Welterweight Championship. It's very surprising, dude. I think it surprised a lot of people. But good on Belal, bro. Good on Belal, seriously. And I'm using his fucking name now. Gotta give the man his respect and remember his fucking name, which is what he wanted us to do. But Belal went into this fight with a chip on his shoulder, bro. He's been at the butt end of so much criticism, people giving him like so much like genuine visceral hatred, and really for no reason other than his fights not being exactly the most entertaining. Belal really came here to prove a point, and he did just that. He really poured it on Leon Edwards, gave him fucking 49-46 him, won 3 rounds to 2. Or, I mean, honestly, it could have been 4-1. There's some controversy, I believe, about that last round because Belal really started pouring it on with the elbows. But I mean, Belal had control over him for most of that round, and on top of that, he did land some good shots in the stand-up as well. Even then, that doesn't really make too much of a difference to the other rounds that Belal won. I mean, you saw him dump Leon Edwards on his fucking head. That was absolutely brutal, man. And really, good way to manhandle him and show the world what he's capable of. Beating Leon Edwards in his home country is a really big accomplishment. And like I said, man, a lot of people were overlooking him. If you look at that first fight, a lot of people kind of considered Belal to be a bit of a quitter, and Edwards did slightly rock Muhammad with the head kick. So just from that information, a lot of people were kind of thinking that this fight was just going to be a repeat of what happened in the first one. But Belal came in and showed that he was different and showed that he'd put a lot of time into improving and evolving, and he proved a lot of people wrong, bro. So good on him. He's the champion. I really want to see him versus Shavkat. That would be definitely an interesting fight. I think Shavkat with his range, and on top of that, with his finishing ability, I think honestly, one of Edwards' biggest flaws was that he didn't go for the kill enough and was kind of just. I mean, if you heard Edwards' corner telling him all the time that he had to push him back, he had to assert himself more, he had to walk him down, well, Edwards was kind of just more so trying to do that thing where he fucking coasts. You can't do that to somebody with the volume, the output, and the pressure of Belal, bro. Just didn't work. So, I mean, good night of fights overall. It was a pretty good card, man. I mean, like I said, the main event wasn't exactly the most exciting in the world, but we still had a whole bunch of good fights underneath that, and the main event honestly was a good fucking fight. I knew we kind of all expected it to go to a decision, but regardless, it was a good performance by Belal, and he did a good job of showing us what he's capable of.